Ken Lutz is a captain retired with the Canadian Armed Forces. After a 41-year service, Lutz now focuses his military expertise on the Royal Newfoundland Regiment's museum.
I'm part of the modern history, and there's a lot of guys here that know the World War I, World War II history, and having been in the regiment, you get a certain exposure to the regimental history, but it's limited. I mean, what I've learned out of a book, and Frank is writing books, so there's a big leap from reading books and writing books. So, I'm not going to try and compete with Frank on the history of the regiment. I'm here to learn history of the regiment. Like I said, I know the ABCs of the regimental history. I just don't know the other 26 letters in the alphabet of regimental history.
With Remembrance Day on the horizon, Lutz shared his proudest moments from his 41-year career.
But I would think probably the proudest moment that I've had in the military was when I was the RSM with the regiment at Beaumont Hamel in '06, and we marched on the battlefield, and it's the first time the regiment has been on the battlefield since the actual day of Beaumont Hamel. So to see the Royal Newfoundland Regiment on the field where they were that day, that just, like, even not being a Newfoundlander, like, it just built up inside you like there was no, there's like, that's the pinnacle, as far as I'm concerned, of my career, was that day, that morning, marching on the battalion onto the battlefield of Beaumont Hamel.
Crowds are continuing to grow each year for Remembrance Day ceremonies across the province. Lutz believes civilians should go a step further to completely understand what it's all about.
It makes me feel good to see that the crowds are coming and that there's more people coming and showing up for the parades. The only thing I would say is for the crowds that are coming to become more aware of what the actual ceremony is designed for and what it's about, and go a little deeper than just being somewhere at a certain time and wearing a poppy. That's great, and that's part of it, but that's not the start and the end of it. It's a much bigger process than that. And I guess probably, if people did their homework and realize, what soldiers go through and what soldiers have gone through, then that would make it a whole lot better than when you hear kids or parents trying to explain to their children what Remembrance Day is, and they think it's about wearing a poppy and being somewhere at 11 o'clock on November 11th. And it's much, much deeper than that.
For Kicker TV, I'm Mike Moore.